SunCityTV. One people, one voice. Secure the Future initiative unveils Mental Health Support Center in Abuja. Nigeria currently faces a global health right emergency in mental health, underpinned by poor societal attitudes towards mental illness and inadequate resources, facilities, and mental health staff. Figures suggest that approximately 80% of individuals with serious mental health needs in Nigeria cannot access care. But an organization, Secure the Future, has taken the bold step to nip this menace in the bud as they unveiled a new facility, SDF Support Center in Lugbe area of Abuja. According to the president of the organization, Adamu, the center will care for those struggling with mental health issues, a service center where on-the-spot counseling is given to those in need. When asked about what inspired the project, she said it is forced to share experience and to help people in the little way I can to stay sane regardless. A lot is happening in different homes. People are daily falling into abject poverty and depression, contemplating suicide. So I decided to contribute my quota and leave the rest for God, she said.
Just to share an experience. A lot of times, especially when I meet people that truly need help, and the best I can do is refer or recommend, and in most cases, they can't even afford such recommendations. I feel that if I'm able to do something, to still help people, why not? So, one of the inspiration for me is to just see people heal. Basically, that's why I am sure the manager of the home mentioned earlier that this is not a conventional rehabilitation center. Usually, conventional rehabilitation centers they're known to be quite expensive, and just like one of our partners mentioned, I mean, it's it's just something that a lot of people, sometimes usually can afford. And so SDF Home is a place where people can still afford. Yeah, you get charged for, very little, but basically what you get charged for is your stay, the basics you need to be here. So we're looking at that can truly sustain the home. If you have to pay just a very little amount of money to be here and, really get what you want, as good as being in a conventional rehabilitation center, why not? We're not charging so much. So we believe that with the little that people are going to be paying for the services here, it'll be easy to sustain the place. Projects like this is not something you say you can handle all by yourself. You definitely need partners and collaborations. So yes, we'll be really grateful if the government can support, no matter how little. We'll be also grateful if we have other NGOs, CSO partner with us. Yeah, so we just hope that partnership can come from anywhere.
According to the manager of the facility, Mrs. Chinenyere Nena Iwanyanwu, SDF Support Center is a post-rehabilitation center for those with mental health issues, especially those that are struggling with drug-related matters.
The SDF Support Home is a post-care rehabilitation center for those who are into drug use, trauma, and what have you that has to do with mental health. And this place, to put it short, is a reformatting center. Okay. Mind reformatting center, mind reformation center. Okay. Because the thing with rehabilitation is the conventional rehabilitation centers are basically centered on detoxifying. Okay. But the process of reformatting the mind to understand that you don't need drugs to go through the life pressure and hassles, but that there are other things you can make out of life that are also very interesting than just doing drugs. This is a center that is going to help you, put you through that process, where you see a demonstration of growth, discovering yourself, growing, being who you are designed to be.
Okay.
It's not just about drug addicts. It's only that predominantly people that end up seen as mental health patients always have one or two substance use attached to their routine. Okay. But mental health as a whole comes from different points. It could be as a result of experience in marriage, you are traumatized, depressed, and you need to get into a rehabilitation point where you begin to unburden and get every pain out so that you can be yourself once again. So it's a deep process, and I don't think I have all the time to express. You must have gone for rehabilitation. Our point here is to help you through the process of reintegration back into the society. So we are not a medical center. We don't administer any drugs. We only go through psychosocial process, psychotherapy.
Speaking further, the president of Mandate Health Empowerment Initiative, Zion Ame, says mental health is the total sense of wellness of a person and it includes how effective we are able to interact with other people for a more engaging and inclusive sense of well-being. He also suggested that mental health awareness should be passed across into the workplace.
The rate at which drug use problems is become pandemic in our society today. Not just having a facility that will provide some form of treatment or maybe psychosocial support, but then beyond that, there's a need to look into fitting them back to the society, reintegrating them back to their families or to the society or to school. And that is one of the cardinal things that this home is going to be providing. So as a matter of fact, I want to celebrate SDF, I want to celebrate their founder and all their associates, for taking the lead to open up this home. As a matter of fact, that this is happening in a time like this, I'm very impressed about it, and I look forward to seeing it turn out a lot of people back to society who are, not just only fit, but are just well enough made to help build the society at large. Maybe the simplest connection I would want to just say for now is when you look at mental health, investment in mental health. Now it's been proven that if you invest $1 in mental health, you get $4 back, right? So if you look at the current statistics, that's as far as it concerns budgetary allocation for mental health services or care in the country, it's appalling, right? So from the Ministry of Health, what gets to them, from the from the health budget, we have just less than 3% that reaches or touches mental health. And in that, I mean, over 90% of it goes to the federal neuropsychiatric hospitals in terms of maintaining the facilities, and so nothing comes down to issue of care or support. So it's really appalling, and that's one of the things that the Lunacy Act of 1958, when it's being repealed, and I mean the process is ongoing. So when it's being repealed, it's going to change a lot of things, and one of that is what I'm just saying now. So in terms of socioeconomic development or growth or national development and growth, what this will help is it's going to turn out people who are well informed, people who are mentally healthy. And remember, I mean, mentally healthy just simply talks about four things. So one is that you are getting to see people who have been able to find themselves, people who have been able to discover themselves, people who have been able to come up with coping mechanisms, whether in business, whether in academics, whether in career. They've been able to understand themselves and come up with coping mechanisms. And they've been able to understand that they need to be productive and to support the community in terms of contribution. So we're going to be turning out people from this self home who are mentally healthy with all of these four characteristics that I've just mentioned. So you're going to be having not less than a community of populations of people who will be supporting the national development and also otherwise. Right? One of the things that the government should do first and foremost is we want to see political will. We want to see that there's a high level of commitment. Political will is something that we can't overemphasize in subject like this, because I mean, whatever it is that SDF is going to be doing is just going to be serving a very small population in the country. But when we have political will, when we have the government being committed to national frameworks that will turn out to be either plans or policies or legislations, then you can see that this is going to turn out to impact the whole country at large. So we want to see direct increases in political wheels that channels or consigns towards mental health. We want to see that The government, the National Assembly, they're also very much interested in seeing how they can support, ventures like these. I want to see how we can create even homes, how the government can support homes like these to run effectively, and to also see it as an enabling environment to also build good citizens.
While commending the organization for a work well done, Mrs. Charity Oboli, a counselor and educationist, encouraged people coming out of centers to take advantage of the facility to be able to integrate into the society.
The importance of this event today is that we are now aware that there is a place for people who are coming out of rehabilitation. I now know personally that there's a place better than rehabilitation center. So some people come out of rehabilitation, I learnt that today, and then they can't fit into the society. This is a better place for them to, you know, prepare themselves better to fit into the society. And this is what this home is all about.
SunCityTV, one people, one voice.